Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it is gonna be Sharkbot. I think a lot of viewers' favorites, taking on Caninana on the map Site Delta. Caninana possibly, I'd say, the Sharkbot with the best late game control, I want to say. I know that may be a controversial take, because Eris is the better bot, as it's proven. But I think as far as like specific late game play goes, Caninana may be better suited to take on Sharkbot. And that's why I wanted to cast this. As like Caninana, I know it makes good usage of corruptors, how it uses infestors and sets up like 8 spore crawlers and teleports BCs. So I wanted to see how these two fare against each other. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are the best at it. Make sure to go ahead, slap that like button. Let's go for however many probes are mining from this Nexus. Not that you can tell because it's accelerated bot mining, so let's just accelerate, click that like button. And then leave a comment down below saying more bots, more bagels. Let me know what you had for breakfast this morning in the comments, as it does help with the YouTube algorithm, which is yet another bot that we have to contend with. So we do have Sharkbot being a bit of a pain in regards to, I guess, teasing Caninana a bit the potential of cannons. However, that's not going to happen. And then just a Nexus going to be on the way up. So the Forge Fast Expand does still live in bot games. It doesn't live in Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void ever since the Ravager came out. However, since in bot games apparently it can. Now we do have, yeah, just standard opening from these bots. Caninana does tend to go for a slightly faster pool than some of the other Zerg bots. I guess that's just the developer's way of handling potential cheeses. And then Sharkbot just doing its thing. We do have a Ling try and make it by that cannon. That's not going to happen though. And then just going to be a Cyber Core probably after this gateway. So everything looking pretty darn normal between these two so far. I've been thinking on the channel I may put up, may do a couple more matches, potentially of me playing versus the bots. For those of you that don't know, I have put up a couple videos on the channel a while ago. And I also added to the description, I'll have to double check that I did that on my videos, that you can indeed play versus a lot of these pro bots. ESChamp made an awesome app, I believe, that allows you to play versus a lot of the bots if you want to see how you fare against them. Some of them are more difficult than others. And yeah, we'll see how this one's going to develop. Another Ling runs on in for Caninana, but it cannot make it past the cannon. Double Stargate play from Sharkbot. So going into that air tech. All the while Caninana getting up that third hatchery burrow on the way as well. So the potential to block expansions down the line of Sharkbot, that's a very strong move by the Zerg bots, as it just is such good return for what the bot has to put into it. Another Ling tries to make it on in, even with speed. It's not going to happen, as that cannon is the defender of Sharkbot's base, being the only unit that it has. We get a couple of cannons and batteries going up to really lock down that natural now. Chrono boost on the +1 as 2 Void Rays are on the way, so potentially a bit of early game Void Ray shenanigans. We'll see if Sharkbot actually gets aggressive with these potentially. That would be cool to see. Then we've got a lair on the way for Caninana, and everything is looking pretty darn normal. I expect the Zerg economy to just take off relatively soon with that third base done. The fourth base going to be on the way up. And then we have Sharkbot saying, how can you burrow into that? As there is a Ling burrowed into the ground. A cannon is on the way up, and that is a great way to program your bot to deal with Those burrowedlings just send a probe there to build a cannon. Cannon gets up. Burrowedlings ain't going to be a problem. We've got a boatload of pylons going up for Sharkbot at a third base location, and then this location can be an easy fourth. So I do find it interesting how it got up the cannon at the fourth prior to the third, but the fact that it actually got the third up is nice because it doesn't have any detection. So there would have potentially been a window for Caninana to burrow a ling, and then Sharkbot just wouldn't have been able to expand to either of those locations. We do have these two Void Rays. They are getting aggressive, and Prismatic Alignment gets popped by them as they try and just right-click on that hatchery. A couple of Queens do come in to try and save the day. However, the Void Rays are being microed, and these Queens could potentially save this. They should be able to save this. Queens are up, says Sharkbot, as it gets on out of there, almost killing the hatchery. That would have been huge for Sharkbot. And we are seeing Caninana attempt to run lings into this base, so this cannon's already starting to do its job. As we look around the map, there's lings burrowed at every possible further expansion, except this fourth, which has got that cannon to protect it. We now have double Robo on the way with a Phoenix. It is notable that Sharkbot made just 4 Void Rays and hasn't made anything more. Caninana is going up to Hydras, which can definitely be a little scary, as once these Zerg bots hit that maxed out supply or hit a high drone count, they kind of just start attacking and generally don't stop. That's what we've learned where these Zergs get their efficiency. Queens are going to shoo away those Void Rays, even dropping Transfuse into the hatchery. Cool to see that that's been programmed. A Phoenix chasing down an Overseer, a single Phoenix, that's a cool addition. Twilight Council, Robobay on the way. Sharkbot does really make all the Protoss stuff. Psystorm, Tempest potentially down the line. Psystorm, Colossus too. The Colossus will be very big against the Hydralisk. It's also getting +1 attack. Double Forge, even though it's already got one, so it's going up to triple Forge, which is kind of nuts. I'm not sure if it'll actually utilize all of those. We do have an Observer paired with these Void Rays to start clearing up the creep. The creep isn't amazing for Caninana. I feel like if this was Xena, there'd already be creep, like, all over the map, up to Sharkbot's door, however. Yeah. We see Caninana now moving out with some of its Hydras, so the Void Rays really have to be careful here, as Hydras just destroy Void Rays and head-on fights. That's why these big giraffes are being made by Sharkbot. A great Protoss answer to those Hydras. Extended Thermal Lance being researched too, that's really important. And the 4th base is up for Sharkbot, so it's going to have that location locked down pretty soon. As now High Templars are even being warped in. Whether they'll just be Archons or used for feedback, or eventually if we'll see Psystorm get researched. That's going to be important. It is starting to get a little concerning though, as we do have Caninana almost maxed out. The potential for an attack is real. We do have a Photon Cannon also about to finish up here. This will allow that Ling to be cleaned up easy peasy for a 5th base. And Caninana making use of Overseers, having them all over the map, just running in Changelings all the time. And this is something that I have wondered about bots, whether it would be possible to make a bot that utilizes Contaminate by Overseers. Probably one of the least used abilities in the game, but if you made like a bot that potentially had like 5 Overseers just constantly contaminating buildings, like you could just have a building that never ever can produce anything. Lots of Lings are running all over the place as Caninana's starting to poke and prod a little bit. However, Sharkbot is mustering this big defense. We're now starting to see the Infestors on the way for Caninana. That is one of the strong points from the Zerg. Hydras are attacking on in, however, battery overcharge is very good. I was going to say pretty good. It's very good. There's no doubts about that, as Protoss units on batteries tend not to die. I am curious to see how the Infestor usage of Caninana is going to go, though, as, of course, we know it's incredibly good against battle cruisers from some of the games that I've cast. problem is Protoss has High Templar, and Sharkbot has shown us that it's got incredible micro with that Prism to just instantly feed back units, so those Infestors could potentially be paperweights this game. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. No Corruptors are on the way yet either. There is Vipers, though, and there is a Spire done. Both of these bots are almost at 90 workers. Sharkbot literally at 90 workers. Caninana down a few as it's making spine crawlers out of its workers. And there we see it, feedback getting utilized on those Infestors. Yeah, 3 Infestors walking away, unable to do anything, and this is where things could be a little dicey. We do see a Neural Parasite on an Archon that's still morphing. I didn't even know you could do that. However, apparently that's a thing, so this Archon now going to be an enemy and is going to start shooting away on some Colossus. It does, however, escape. Psystorm is also being researched. Caninana poking. Still, there's a Neural Parasite going down on one of the Colossus. All of a sudden, it's a hostile Giraffe cutting into one of those High Templar. Not able to kill it, though, thanks to the battery. Battery is not there to save the day, though, as now we see another one of these Colossus get taken over. Caninana seems to not be struggling with the feedback too much. We see Sharkbot saying it's storm time, however, all of a sudden the Zerg is all over Sharkbot. Hydra's attacking the third. Some Roaches and Hydras pushing the natural and the fourth as well. So this is just looking a bit nasty. Sharkbot saying it's easier to calculate pathing for air units. Always a talker, no matter the situation. Is Sharkbot. We see a mothership on the way. That's going to be big. Disruptors coming out too. Upgrades are still going for Sharkbot, so it's in a bit of a dicey position losing those 2 Colossus. Its actual army is not that big, and we see another Neural Parasite be attempted. However, that Infestor was by itself, and there is an Observer staying with this army. Corruptors are now out, though, which is really darn important. The Viper has got to be careful to avoid the potential for instant feedback by these High Templar. There it is. The blinding, or the parasitic bomb did get off prior to that feedback. We now see a Neural Parasite. Fungal Growth combo by Caninana. Its spell usage is so sick, eating up most of the shields on those Void Rays, forcing them back into a battery, and now gonna push on in. We see an Abduct go down on the mothership. I'm not sure there's actually enough damage to kill that off, however. Caninana is just a monster with its army control. The developer did a really good job programming its spellcaster usage, so even Sharkbot's feedback play isn't enough to keep it at bay. And the Prism actually, I believe, may have lost its High Templar, so all of a sudden there is no feedback play. We are seeing a Dark Shrine, all the tech still being researched on both sides. Sharkbot has got up a 6th base, so that is going to give it a lot more staying power in this game. Well, if it holds on to that base, we do see a Tempest become a foe, shooting onto the mothership. However, that spell does run out, and that Infestor's got a skedaddle. However, it's kind of running the wrong way to its death. And yeah, resources lost-wise, it's actually in favor for Caninana. We'll see if that's going to stay the same, though, as once Sharkbot is fully maxed out, which it pretty much is. Efficiency tends to go up. Corruptors are all over the place being microed. That Prism, very vulnerable. However, it is full of High Templar, so it can kind of protect itself. There's a double feedback on the Vipers and on an Infestor with the Psystorm. Sharkbot's Prism usage is so darn good. Caninana constantly testing the waters as both bots have identical army supply. The army value is definitely, well, it's not honestly too much higher. In fact, it's pretty darn even, as yeah, both these bots making quite a few spellcasters here. Sharkbot doing its thing where it just tosses up batteries and cannons all over the place, like they're construction signs on a highway. And now we have got just a little bit of creep clearing going on. I'm not sure if Sharkbot's going to be able to push out. It's just a constant testing of the waters, but no engagement. We do see an Observer get picked off. That's nice. How many Observers have died this game? Currently 4. I get the feeling that will not be the last Observer to die this game. Creep is still being cleared. However, creep is still being spread. Lots of cannons and batteries are set up in this location. There's even a sentry kind of caught in the middle here, which is bizarre. It will perish. Another sentry actually getting warped on in as these Hydras and Roaches are getting a nice attack off here. The cannons and batteries do pretty well for themselves, but they cannot contend with 3-3 Roach Hydra. In comes some Protoss units to save the day. There is, however, some Neural Parasites, which I believe resulted in the death of a couple of those units. Neural Parasite gets off prior to that feedback. This Archon is now an enemy. And that is the conundrum when it comes to programming your bot. Like, do you program it to kill friendly units that have been Neural Parasited, or is there even an easy way to tell? I guess there is potentially a way to tell, but yeah, because I'm not too familiar with how you develop a bot, but there is like a framework. Another observer goes down, so I guess basically like events in the game that you can program off, from what I understand. That's why so for example, like a unit gets a tag if it's locked on by a cyclone, to my knowledge, so bot authors can change the behavior of units off that kind of thing. So I imagine it's like that across the board. And so, is there a tag in game when a unit is Neural Parasited, or is it just that it becomes a hostile unit and you've got to adapt for that as a bot author? Another Neural Parasite going down on an Archon. The Spellcaster usage is insane by Caninana. The fact that it keeps getting off those Neural Parasites is so darn good. We do see observers on the, or oracles on the way now. That will allow constant revelation, potentially. Sharkbot is getting up the space in the bottom left. That's allowing it to secure, well, take almost all of the bases that it potentially could this game. We do see that Prism getting a little far forward, eating a parasitic bomb. It is retreating. It is going to go down with the 4 High Templar in it, though. That is some really good efficiency, and Sharkbot is actually the bot that's taking the worst trades here. So we are seeing some contrast in the late game. Caninana versus Eris, as Caninana really does have the better late game, it seems. Taking really great trades against Sharkbot. I am curious to see if Caninana will ever take this base, as that would give it a base up on its opponent, as these center bases could be for contention, as both of these bots are now on even amounts of bases, and that is going to put us in a position which it is really going to be all about that efficiency, and so far Caninana is winning in that regard. Sharkbot is bottlenecked by its gas. Hydra's working away on these cannons and batteries. Actually, nothing to see them from the high ground, really. Baiting them to the low ground into the cannons is nice, however, quite a few Hydras and a Roach in tow, so his static defense may get cleaned on up. All the while on the front, constant parasitic bomb, fungal growth going down. That observer gets hit, so those are still constantly dying in this game. 8 have perished so far. Neural Parasited Archon getting some kills. Caninana Neural Parasites, and then going to kill that off. That is where a lot of the gas, I feel, for Caninana is going. Oh, dead High Templar and Archons. 24 dead High Templar and 3 dead Prisms. Upgrades are still finishing up for both these bots. Over 3-3 is in sight for Sharkbot, so that, well, almost done actually, so that means it will be reaching its final form. The problem is the efficiency for Caninana is still just insanely good. It's 27k resources lost to 1400, so unless Sharkbot can take another base or start taking some better trades, it will eventually lose out here. And that is just crazy to me, that Caninana has got such good efficiency, just killing the odd unit here, there, and everywhere. The cannons, of course, are a big money sink. But as far as the main resource loss go, it's just High Templar that have been dying a lot, actually. Poor Sharkbot. Corruptor's even using Caustic Spray on the odd building. It's just a wide open front, and Caninana has got a massive bank. Even though these 2 bases haven't been taken, the bank for Caninana is huge and not running out anytime soon. Sharkbot's got a ways to go in this game, in which it's still got a base that's mining happily here. However, it definitely needs more static defense, but I guess the creep has denied that. A sentry isn't very good even with a battery overcharge when it comes to defending this location. And if Sharkbot loses this base just to a couple of units, that would be massively, massively problematic, as Zealot is trying to defend its base like a champ. However, the Roach can just burrow and escape. And it does just burrow and escape. Neural Parasite goes down on another morphing Archon. That one will survive, thankfully. Archon just almost permanently under Caninana's control, it seems. Is there another Neural after this one? Not quite on that Infestor, but who knows? There could be another Infestor coming up to steal that Archon. Sharkbot really getting pushed here. It is holding onto this base for now. Resources lost, still massively in favor for the Zerg. The creep for Caninana has been really good, getting pushed up to this bottom left side. I know I kind of knocked it at first, but it has done a great job pushing that out and maintaining it, getting creep tumors all over the place, 6 at a time. Just placing them in the back, I guess, and then just continuously spreading them forward. As, oh my gosh, that is a lot of creep tumors all over the place. The game might start lagging soon. A gas has actually been denied, which is a big blow to Sharkbot. Sharkbot is also losing a lot of probes in transition. I do wonder if Sharkbot potentially just went for a big push, whether it would be able to roll over Caninana. However, of course, that's not how the bot is programmed. It's programmed to be a defensive bot. It would be potentially cool if the bot author realized, like, okay, it's time for a suicidal charge. Neural Parasite's going down, Blinding Cloud, or, yeah, Parasitic Bomb going down. It's hard to tell between all these spells as they're just constantly being used. A hostile Archon does stay alive. The trades are definitely still in favor for Caninana as this game goes on. Lots and lots of probes are dying during this. This Nexus is taking a lot of heat too. It's like Sharkbot is coming on in to save that, which is really important. The Prism is still moving around, potentially for some feedback or Psystorm. Yeah, these bases in the bottom definitely need some support, and we are going to see that as Caninana now moves on out. Or as Sharkbot moves on out to clean up Caninana's creep, and it does do a good job of that, bringing the Observer, trimming the creep a little bit. The Zerg is now spilling on in here. This could actually give some potential good engagements for Sharkbot. The concern is, though, that Sharkbot is now down on supply, having lost quite a few units, and Caninana is coming in for a concave. The Vipers are what we really need to watch, the Spellcaster usage, if there's some big parasitic bombs or not, or abducts even. There's a Fungal Growth. Blinding Cloud, Parasitic Bomb in the mix to abduct. Time Warp gets tossed on down, and Mass Neural Parasite on the army of Sharkbot. Caninana, it's just destroying Sharkbot here. Oh my gosh, God, that was disgusting how well Caninana put together that fight. The Spellcaster usage of this Zergbot is so darn good. Yeah, like, that was disgusting. Even with the counterplay, with the High Templar, they just seem to not get enough done for Sharkbot. Maybe it needs another Prism full of High Templar that just stays with the army, but it just got knocked down to 100 supply in the blink of an eye, which is a big engagement that we don't usually see bots take. But Caninana's like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill this nerd now. It honed in on the army. It attacked, and it's always got a small, well, I can't really call this attack small to the top, but it's always got multiple attacks going on, but then also still pressuring the main army. The late game control is really impressive as 2 more Neural Parasites and Abducts go down. The Spellcaster usage is so darn good. There's also a Caustic Spray as this Corruptor pees on this, or pukes on this shield battery in the middle of the fight. The Colossus stays alive, however, not for long as it gets picked off. Sharkbot knocked down to 70 supply, and I honestly thought that Sharkbot had the best late game if it was allowed to get up enough bases, but evidently that's not true. Caninana wins in the game of attrition, and there's not much left for Sharkbot. It's trying to make probes, and it's like, yeah, it had so many bases. Sharkbot was maxed out for a decent chunk of the game. Just Caninana's attacks all over the place. Like, I don't even know how you go about programming a bot to have army control like this, to attack multiple locations, and then, but then also to have great control when it comes to attacking, like, the main army, which it has been doing. And yeah, Sharkbot is just dead. Its mining's been disrupted too much. It never built up a bank. Not that Sharkbot generally does build up a bank, because it's always just building mass cannons. But, yeah, really impressive by Caninana. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this one is over, as the supply for the Protoss is really in the gutter, and it's lost 60,000 resources to 30,000. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you haven't already. I'm the channel on YouTube that posts the most regular bot videos, I'd say. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. And if you do want to support this daily content, you can consider becoming a YouTube member. There's a couple perks you can check out there, and it goes a long way to supporting this. As, yeah, it helps me cast these long games that are just fantastic. As, yeah, Caninana's efficiency is disgusting. Lost 107 Hydras, some Infestors. Sharkbot may need to have some tweaks when it comes to winning against Caninana. I mean, it does win against a lot of the bots in the late game. It is incredible, though, how we have so many good late game bots. Sharkbot, Caninana, Benbot, Ketrock. One High Templar trying to hold the line. Unfortunately, it is a slow but certain collapse here. Yeah, and what a great game. Probes a little bit trapped. I didn't notice that before. That's quite a few probes that were completely trapped and not mining. I may have to go back and check the replay to see how long that was the case, actually. Wonder if that could have been a hindrance to Sharkbot. I don't think it was super major, but maybe it was. I'll actually go back and check the replay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. We can take a look at that together to see if there was a bunch of trapped probes throughout the game, or if that was just something that happened towards the end. Do. My PC's like, why are you making me fast forward through this, man? I'm working hard. There's too many creep tumors. Oh, yeah, and then it lags. Sometimes these replays actually, like, they really lag if you try and cut through them. Okay, so there's a decent number of probes, but yeah. I think by the time a bunch of probes built up there, it wasn't too significant. Unless it really messed with the economics of Sharkbot, but it did trap its own workers. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning on in.